Greetings, everyone, and welcome to my presentation. I am Ruby Williams, and I attend Aspen University. This is course EDP 814, The Social Psychology of Groups. The instructor is Dr. Christopher Ewing. I will present three objectives as described by Neistat 2009. First, I will provide an overview of multi-level systems, exploring groups as a multi-level system. Second, I will describe a theoretical framework of performance. Third, I will provide two personal examples of CoAction and audience effects as they are related to group performance. Let's get started. What is a multi-level system? Neistat 2009 defines a multi-level system as a method for assessing environmental project impacts at several levels. Groups are complicated. Multi-level systems, according to Neistat, they are made up of interrelated layers that contribute to group functioning. Members in groups are hierarchical. You have lower level members and you have higher level group members. That individuals in groupings are separate means that they both have characteristics. Thus, group members may be intellectual, extroverted or introverted, experienced, young, and seasoned, etc. A group may be small, permeable, cooperative, etc. Note that group size and permeability are group properties and have no importance for individuals. A third level, called context, is often considered. Most organizations don't operate alone. A project team is a part of an organization, and a group that writes a research paper is likely part of a class. Group context is part of the basic framework, and we shall examine it more toward the conclusion of this presentation. Multi-level theory. Braun et al. 2021 demonstrate how multi-level theory describes organization characteristics and processes across levels. MLT, or multi-level theory, examines a bottom-up emergence as well as a top-down emergence or consequences. According to Braun et al. 2021, considering the existing literature and the conventional statistical and methodological methods for MLT research, three significant gaps in our understanding exist. A failure to grasp the dynamics of emergence, the evolution of top-down and bottom-up interactions, and the formation breakdown and transformation of inter-individual relationships within a collective. The input process output model, or IPO. According to the IPO model, understanding how inputs, processes, and outputs affect group performance is vital, according to Neistat 2009. Neistat says that lower level members are from higher level groupings. Individuals and groups have features because they are distinct. Group members may vary in intelligence, extroversion, introversion. The IPO process module is used for researching group dynamics and performance. According to this method, three primary factors determine group performance. A group's input includes the member's knowledge, task details, and other pertinent information. This is according to Neistat 2009. Group performances include communication, decision-making, and conflict resolution. Collective efforts provide productivity, inventiveness, and satisfaction. Outputs, productivity, originality, and contentment are examples of outputs that result from collective efforts, according to NISTAD 2009. The IPO model emphasizes the importance of understanding how inputs, processes, and outputs interact to influence this group performance. Diversity is a characteristic of a social grouping that reflects the degree to which objective or subjective differences exist between group members. Van Kipning and Shippers said this in 2007, according to NISTAD 2009. Globalization, immigration, and the rise of women in the workforce have created diverse teams by age, gender, and ethnicity. Many teams include members with different functional or educational backgrounds. Now, two personal examples of coaction and audience effects in groups that I've experienced: military training. Myers and Twing 2021 defines social facilitation, also known as IPO, or social or co-action in audience, um, whether as passive audience members or as co-authors. One personal experience involved my service in the United States Army at boot camp. I, along with about 80 other females, chose to go join the service in the middle of winter. We were flown to New Jersey, and then we endured very emotionally distressing bus ride to Fort Dix, New Jersey. I, of course, was freezing because I was coming from Texas to New Jersey. We were told that we would need to pass several tasks to graduate from boot camp. I quickly began to question my decisions to join, my capability to withstand the strenuous physical test, and my mental capacity to endure the psychological aspects of training. I saw other people crying and wanting to go home on the first day that we arrived. I witnessed both the best and the worst aspects of human interaction with individuals who differed in appearance and also in speech patterns in the way we communicate. I determined that we would either succeed or fail as a group. I began to gain support from individuals that were more extroverted than me, and I am pretty extroverted. We supported the emotional needs of those that were more introverted. Those who were introverted were able to get those of us who were extroverted to focus and come together as one team in one fight to succeed, as we say in the military: one team, one fight. The drill instructors, or drill sergeants with the big hats, as we call them, pushed us hard. We did hundreds of push ups, and I do mean hundreds. Land navigation skills, where some of us had never even seen a compass. We had to qualify the rifle range, and they gave us 40 rounds to qualify, and you had to get, I believe, 30 in that 40, which is not easy to do, by the way. And we also had to complete a 15-mile road march. We would have never succeeded as individuals, but collectively, we became unstoppable. We competed with other platoons outside of ourselves for this amazing feat. We got to have a flag on our banner at the end of graduation. We pushed each other to victory. We became a cohesive group with united goals. We brought varied skill sets, cultures, and ethnicities. We demonstrated how coaction prepared us to be prepared. And it meant the life or death of our entire platoon if we were in a real combat zone. So this was vital to success. My second real world example was in nurse leadership as a sexual assault medical forensic examiner program manager. I became one of the first sexual assault medical forensic examiner program managers for the United States. We were told to follow Navy instructions, but not necessarily how to build this program. BUMED, or the Bureau of Medicine in the Navy, supports the sexual assault medical forensic program, or SAMFI, as we call it, SAMFI, because that's just a lot of words to say, to help the Navy prevent and react to sexual assaults. Initially, opposition and lack of support ensued. I had to teach the hospital corpsmen how to help nurses examine assault victims and potential suspects. I built an on call roster for volunteer doctors and nurses. A professional team grew from murmured protest to this new approach to emergency treatment for our patients. This was all new. We had never experienced nor had we dealt with these things. These things always went out to the civilian community. Sanford nurses instructed hospital and police investigators on victim care and sample evidence chain of custody protection in the event that this was taken to a court case. I took several military and civilian courses myself, as well as our team. We benefited from my civilian forensic nurse examiner training. We served victims and team members because this was very stressful on the staff, on the medical staff who had never done this before, nor had they cared for victims, nor the potential suspects. This was a highly emotionally, physically, and mentally devastating environment. CoAction and audience influence affected both large and small group performance. In conclusion, our identities and the ways in which we engage with the world are shaped by the social groupings we belong to. It is easier to manage relationships in society when we have a better understanding of the co-action of social groups. This is said by NISTAD 2009. According to the current state of the literature, as well as the traditional statistics and methodological approaches that are used to study MLT, or multi-level theory, there are three significant knowledge gaps. These gaps, like I said before, include understanding of the process of emergence, how top-down and bottom-up relationships change over time, and how inter-individual relationships within collectives form, dissolve, and evolve with time and exposure. And that concludes my presentation. I want to say thank you to you all. I hope that this has benefited you in your knowledge of how coaction and audience affect group performance. And I've provided my references. Thank you.